What's up, y'all? It's your guy, eBay Fight Predictions in the building, and this is your UFC Vegas 90 Brendan Allen versus Chris Curtis, the rematch, full card predictions and betting breakdown, baby. But before we get into the card, I want you guys to make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and share the video. Let's get this eBay Fight Prediction Nation growing. And if you have not, go follow me on my Instagram and my Twitter. Make sure you guys get those social medias up, after they destroyed your boy on Twitter, and we're making the comeback. Also, follow me on TikTok too. I forgot to say that. But yeah, really good card. You guys know, big Brendan Allen fan here, so I'm going to be watching this a little nervous, in anticipation. Revenge is coming, baby. Chris Curtis, we're coming back. All the receipts have been remembered. Angelo, SSG, Fuego, all y'all that had something to say that day and bothered me that day when Chris Curtis got one of the biggest flukes of his life. But before we talk about the main event, let's talk about this card. It's a decent card, not the best card in the world, but I think there's some good betting spots here. And obviously, I think some really clear favorites and profitable fighters you guys can get on. But yeah, man. Actually, so let's get into it. I plugged everything I need to plug, and yeah. Oh yeah. If I haven't said it, like the video. If you haven't liked the video, like the fucking video. Why have you not liked the video? It's your boy Even, man. Come on. But yeah, let's get into it though. Let's talk about the curtain jerker of the night, Melissa Tonya Mullins versus Nora Cornello. I think that's how you say her name. Nora's coming off a good, decent win over Jocelyn Edwards. She looked decent. She's obviously stiff Muay Thai fighter from France. Decent groundwork. Remember, I was watching one of her early fights where she got this black chick down and she kind of ground and pounded her. She threw a decent throw, and I thought it was pretty decent. But she's 34. Other girl, Melissa Tonya, out of England, she's decent. Really, honestly, I like, for women MMA. I like her jab, man. Like everything she presents in there, I like it. She does a really good job of, using her movement, chaining combinations. She's aggressive in there. She goes for the kill. She looked good. She does have the reach advantage here. I'm going to be rocking with, the England woman, Melissa Tonya Mullins. No mess, baby. I got her by decision. You already know when eBay Fight Predictions is talking about a female fight, what's going to happen, y'all? They're going to decision. You already know. So I'm going to be taking Melissa here by decision to get the victory. So yeah, but should be a decent female fight though. Next fight, Dylan Budka versus César Almeida. This one's a tough one for me, man. The dogs are barking here, bro. The dogs are barking. I'm not gonna put no money on this, but I think César Almeida is a future fade. I really, really do. I don't have any intentions of thinking Dylan Budka or whatever his name is gonna go out there and just win. But man, he has a wrestling shot here. He looked good in his last fight. His takedowns look good. He's the more experienced guy. He's younger. César Almeida looked decent on the ground. I'm not gonna lie. In his Contender Series fight, he didn't look horrible. So those are things to look at. I thought he looked decent, but I don't know. Like, obviously, he's the better striker here, but the grappling edge has to go to Budka. So usually, like, how do you kind of favor it? I think César can keep this on the feet, but 4-0 fighter, 36 years old. I know they're fighting at middleweight, so obviously the age and the weight discrepancy does matter as they go up, right? And obviously the age doesn't play a factor as much as as they get heavier, but especially when you're 36. But I don't know. Like I like Dylan here. I think the Ohio wrestler here gives César Almeida a lesson, but no money on it. I wouldn't be surprised if Almeida goes out there, chews his legs off, and knocks him out. But I got Dylan here. Actually, I think a wrestling masterclass might be expected. So yeah, I got Budka by decision. Next fight, Gene Matsumoto, I think that's his name, versus Dan Argueta. This is a good fight, man. This kid, Gene, looked awesome on Contender Series. I still think also grappling deficiencies are there though. Even though he looked really, really good. I mean, the leg kicks were solid. I know Argueta's coming off some interesting fights. Obviously the Ronnie Lawrence performance and then Miles John's situation. But I mean, he's a solid MMA fighter, solid grappler. To put that frank, 30 years old. Obviously, he's been in the game a lot longer. He doesn't have that many fights, but I know he's been in the game a lot longer than him, and he's just older. Again, I think the dogs are barking here. I know everyone's really, really hyped about this Gene kid. Awesome Muay Thai, really good kickboxer, really good distance, really good striking. But I think Argueta should give him some problems here. I'm going to be picking Argueta. No money on this, no money. I think this is just kind of like how I'm seeing in this fight. But I think Argueta can get the wrestling, the chain wrestling going, and I just think he wins, man. I prefer his game a lot more than this kid. He's young, and Dan Argueta is in his prime, so But yeah, should be a good fight though. Nonetheless, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets beat, but you got to go with the experience, more well-rounded guys sometimes in these kind of situations. So I'm sticking on my guns there. Next fight, Cynthia Calvillo versus Pierre Rodriguez. Oh man, Cynthia. She has been on an insane losing streak. I actually feel really bad for her. That she is going through this. Yeah, this is tough for her. This is a tough pill for her to swallow. I'm gonna take Cynthia Calvillo here. I know she's a lot older, and I know she's been losing a lot, but at one point in her career, she's actually a decent fighter. She went out there, tried to wrestle. She's actually ranked in the top 5. I remember at one point was that close to challenging for the belt. She actually I'll never forget that she was Jessica I. She main evented a fight night against Jessica I. Woo! I'm happy we are beyond those days, but I think she can win this fight. Honestly, she's lost a lot. I think she's due for a win here. I don't it seems like her wrestling has gone away when she used to be a really good wrestler, and that used to be one of her main attributes. If she can get the wrestling back on, I think this can be an interesting fight, and I think we're back, baby. I think we're back. So I'm gonna take Cynthia here. I don't know, maybe it's just a pity pick, but I think Calvillo still got something in the tank, and why not? Why not? Let's see what happens here. Next fight, Haley Alateng versus Victor Hugo. Good fight in the bantamweight division. Victor Hugo looked amazing on Contender Series, man. That knee bar submission he got, I was really impressed with him. And I think Haley Alateng's game just plays into Victor Hugo's jiu-jitsu. He's a wrestler. He goes for takedowns. I think he's just going to find himself getting submitted really early. I think Victor Hugo is going to play him. And Victor Hugo is not bad on the feet. So wherever this fight goes, I think Victor is just better than him. He's more athletic. He's younger. And yeah, he has a better record. And Haley Alateng has just had mixed results in the UFC as of late. And yeah, it hasn't been perfect. But hey, it is what it is. So yeah, I'm going to be rocking with Victor Hugo here. Probably I'm gonna say submission in the second round. That's what I'm gonna say. So yeah, gotta love it. Next fight, one of my fights I got parlayed here. Norma Dumont versus Germaine de Randamie. Germaine de Randamie is gonna beat the shit out of Norma Dumont. Norma Dumont's decent, but we saw what Megan Anderson did to this girl. I know Germaine's 39, but there's levels to this. I'm sorry, there's levels to this. She hasn't fought almost 3 years, so she hasn't fought in 3 years, but she beat Juliana Pena, who won the belt not too long ago. So I'm rocking with Germaine de Randamie, unless GDR has fucking fallen off a cliff since these 3 years. I think, and it's women's MMA. I think she's going to fucking beat this girl, and I got her by decision. Wouldn't be surprised. I remember I watched her beat the shit out of Aspen Ladd live. You know what I'm saying? I'll never forget that. She knocked her the fuck out. Well, actually, she didn't knock. She dropped her, and people complain about the stoppage, but still, it is what it is. But I got her parlayed. I'm pretty confident she wins this fight. And yeah, man, I think she does her thing here. I think she separates herself from Norma Dumont. But, hey, it should be an interesting fight, though. Next fight, Court McGee versus Alex Morono. I'm I'm rocking with Alex Morono here, younger guy. He was on a good run, before the Ponzinibbio fight, and I mean, he was 1 minute away from winning the Ponzinibbio fight, and then he got knocked out. I mean, he has a win over Tim Means. Like he had a pretty good winning schedule, and obviously he fought Buckley. Buckley was just too powerful for him. I think Court McGee coming off these losses. I mean, Matt Brown, fucking Jeremiah Wells. I know Court McGee did his thing against Ramiz and Claudio Silva, but obviously I don't think Alex Morono can do the damage that Matt Brown and obviously Buckley did. Not Buckley, Selmsberger. What's his name? Not fucking Jeremiah Wells. I'm getting these guys confused. Those two did to him, but I do see Alex Morono winning this fight. I just think he's just a little younger. He seems like he's found his groove as of recent, and he's actually like a decent fighter. Good minute winner. Doesn't have the best chin in the world, but wrestling's decent. He's pretty much good everywhere and very awkward. Morono's a very awkward fighter. And he fights weird, and it weirds guys out for like a minute. Some guys don't know how to deal with it. Now, Buckley dominated him, but I don't think Court McGee is going to do what Buckley did. So I got Morono here by decision, but I think should be an entertaining fight, and hopefully this is Court McGee's last fight, man. Got to respect Court McGee. Beat Robert Whitaker for God's sake, but, when your time is up, my friend, my brother, it is over. Next fight, Trevor Peek versus Charlie Campbell. I like Trevor Peek, man. Good dude, man. Solid dude. But I gotta rock with Campbell here, man. I think Campbell's just a more athletic guy. I think he's just a better fighter. And I liked his last performance, man. He looked sharp against Alex Reyes. Now Reyes is a chinny guy, and Peek's tough, but I just think Charlie, he's just gonna be a little too long for him. He does train at Cerro Longo's gym. Tough kid. And I know he has a loss. He got beat by Chris Duncan, which isn't the best look in the world. But besides that, though, if we ignore that, I mean, Trevor Peek's a tough dude, and that's about it. That's all I can really give him. And yeah, I just think Charlie Campbell is just a better fighter here, the more technical fighter, and I think the technique and the spacing, the footwork, all of it, the boxing, I think it's just going to be a little too much for Trevor Peek. And I got Charlie Campbell here by decision. I think he's just going to beat up Trevor Peek for a minute, and Trevor Peek survives. I just think that's how it's going to go. So, yeah. Next fight, Łukasz Brzeski versus Valter Walker. I like this guy, Valter, man. He's fucking hilarious. He has crazy fights, man. And he brings it every time. Muay Thai striker, trains with Johnny Walker. A lot. I remember there's some clips of him training, doing some sparring. Łukasz Brzeski has just been horrible in the UFC. No disrespect, but has just not been that guy. I haven't been impressed with him. I don't think anyone's been impressed with him in the UFC. And yeah, it hasn't gone his way. And I just think Valter Walker, however you say this guy's name, I think he's just going to beat him. I think he's better than him. And I just pretty much think he dog walks him, basically. And yeah, I could even see him finishing him. So I'm going to say third round TKO, but I wouldn't put no money on this. This is a bit of a weird fight. Both guys are kind of weird. I mean, Valter should win this. Well, you know what I'm saying? Valter should win, but he kind of fights a little weird. So he's a bit of a wild one. So I wouldn't trust him with your money. But yeah, and to end my little parlay, my 2-man parlay, or 2-man or woman and man parlay, let's just say that, of GDR. And next is Ignacio Bahamondes. He's obviously facing Cristiano Giagos. I think Giagos, I mean, he's good, obviously, but I just think the length is too much for him going into this matchup. Cristiano Giagos, good grappler, decent striker, has power on the feet, but I mean, we saw what happened when he lost the last tall, long, lanky Hispanic kid, and he lost. I think this obviously goes a little longer than that, but I don't think Ignacio's is going to submit him, and I'm not too big on the kid, but I just think he's going to be long. I think he's going to use that jab on him. I think he's used his spacing, and Giagos is just going to keep getting hit, and I just think when you look at it from a judging point of view, Giagos doesn't do the right things against tall, long, lanky guys to win fights. I mean, he's going to be bouncing around looking for the shot to knock him out, but that's about it. And this kid can take a punch. So I got him in a parlay with GDR. I'm pretty confident both of them win, and I think Ignacio Bahamondes wins this by decision. But yeah, it's gonna be a good fight though. Next fight, Morgan Cherry versus Chepe Mariscal. It's simple, man. I think Morgan's gonna beat the shit out of this Chepe guy. I'm just being honest with you. Chepe, I mean, he had his moments against Jack Jenkins and obviously Trevor Peak, but this is where the story ends, brother. I just think Morgan's he's just too much of a dog. And I think he can challenge Chepe in a lot of areas, the striking, the grappling, and he's just gonna go out there and beat him up. I really, really do. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets the finish here by second round TKO. Should be a good fight though. But I think he's gonna beat the shit out of Chepe. Honestly, there's levels to this game, and I think this kid's just a dog. I really, really do, and I think he can be really special, man. I really do, and should be a good fight, though. Nonetheless, should be a good, honest fight. And in the co-main event, Alexander Hernandez versus Damon Jackson. All right, so this is the game we play. Here we go. Do I put money on Alexander Hernandez and explain to you why he's so great and why he has so much potential to be a good fighter, and then lose money and then cry about it later? This is a game I play, y'all. I'm going to play that game again. I think Alexander Hernandez knocks out Damon Jackson. I got a unit on his money line, and I think he's going to do it. Now, everything in my soul is telling me, no, Abe, you've played this game too much. Alexander Hernandez is going to ruin your money. He's going to laugh at your face, and you're going to lose. Stop believing this kid. He's failed you numerous times. But that's the thing about eBay. He doesn't give up on people. I don't believe in that. I decided after was it the Mocanho fight? Yeah, after the Mocanho fight, I decided to give this kid a chance. I really hated his guts back in the day, but I decided to give this kid a chance after the Mocanho fight, and he's had some mixed results. I thought he was going to destroy Billy Quarantillo, and he was. Then he got tired. Then he showed who he was against Jim Miller, which actually is a pretty good win for him. And he beat the shit out of Jim Miller and won that fight. And then he loses to Bill Algeo. And I don't know. That fight was weird. Now, Damon Jackson's, I thought he beat Bill and Quarantillo in their fight, but it was a tough dog fight. He lost. He got knocked out by Dan Ige, but he went on an insane win streak. Well, he went on a good win streak, and he was looking really, really good in a lot of his fights. Damon Jackson is actually a really good, profitable fighter, honestly, and he's pretty consistent. So that's why I'm scared to go against him, but I am going against him. Alexander Hernandez is going to rip to the body. He's going to pressure this guy. And Damon Jackson has a weak chin, and Alexander Hernandez is a finisher, and that's what it is. I think Alexander Hernandez knocks this guy in the first round. I just really believe it. I could be wrong, but, Hernandez is really good at losing a fight and then winning his next one. And he lost his last fight, and I think he's due for a win. So, yeah, I got Hernandez here by knockout. I got a unit on his money line. So, yeah, hopefully we don't cry. We go off on top. But, yeah, I play this game, and, I cry about it later. So, hey, we'll see what happens. And in the main event, I do got a breakdown on this. Go check out that breakdown. I think it's a pretty good breakdown, in my humble opinion. Brendan Allen versus Chris Curtis. You guys know how I feel about Brendan Allen. He's the man, the next champ. Dricus du Plessis is fucking nightmare, baby. Brendan Allen. This one is personal. This one has a pack watch coming if Brendan Allen beats this guy. This is 2 years in the making, baby. I prefer this fight over the Marvin Vettori fight by tenfold, because that loss on Brendan Allen's record has been used against him by the haters, by the critics, by the people that said he is a nobody. And if we can get this shit off our record once and for all and set the fucking record straight that we're better than this guy, we've always been better than this guy, and the guy landed one of the luckiest punches of his fucking life, it would be the greatest day of my life. Now, am I scared? A little bit, because there is a sick reality that maybe Chris Curtis is just his kryptonite. But I don't believe it. I refuse to believe it because the action man is just not that guy. I think Brendan Allen, he kind of fought him a little too cocky, and he played his game a little too much. But if Brendan Allen can get the body kick going on, get the jab going on, and get a heavy wrestling game plan, I think he can win this fight. Now, Chris Curtis has good takedown defense, but we saw Nasruddin Amaev take him down. He's getting older. He's just not that guy that he used to be, and that's saying a lot, because he wasn't that guy to begin with, but he was a lot better, in my humble opinion, 2 years ago. And he went on a decent run. But I just think, he's a little older. I know he's a bigger guy, but he's a little older, and he does look like he's losing a step. And I mean, he literally went life and death with fucking Marc-Andre Barriot. So sit down, Chris Curtis. You're going down once and for all. I got Brennan here by second round sub. Should be a good fight. I got 2 units on Brennan's money line, and Brennan win the fight by submission. So I can't wait for it. Should be a good fight. Go check out that breakdown though that I posted. But hope you guys enjoyed the full card predictions and the betting breakdown. Love y'all and goodbye. It's your boy eBay, and I'm out of here, y'all. See y'all. Love y'all and goodbye.
YouTube channel. I'm gonna go check that out. And hey, subscribe to eBay's Fight Prediction. Let's keep the eBay Fight Predictions Nation growing.